Hello, I'm Jennifer, and I have a confession. I have spent a lot of time hating someone very close to me, and now I am bitterly ashamed of myself. This is my story. I have a younger sister, Stella. I was 4 years old when she was born, and I remember that I was really enthusiastic to get a little baby girl I would play with. Well, I was still a baby myself, to be fair, but things went awfully wrong from the very beginning. Stella was born underweight and had to be kept in the hospital. She struggled for weeks, with everyone, relatives, and friends worried about her. In the meantime, I was forgotten by everyone. Just 3 weeks ago, I was the center of everyone's attention, everyone playing with me and giving me presents, and now everyone talks about that Stella, and no one even wants to know how I am. I found an inventive way to attract adults' attention toward myself. I threw tantrums, but my parents very soon explained to me that a tantrum doesn't make everyone forget Stella, and that I should be less selfish. To be honest, I got very offended, but this passed totally unnoticed by everyone. When they finally brought Stella home, I felt nothing. Looking at that ugly, screaming creature, surely I couldn't play with her as they had promised. But at least, finally, I got my parents back. But no one was ready to spend all the day to play or walk with me. My parents had other more important things to do, which was taking Stella to the doctors. I had to learn to mind my own business and get only half of the attention that was supposed to be all mine. Then I went to school. Things didn't improve. Stella was growing a sickly kid, and my parents were constantly dedicating their time, effort, and money to curing her from one disease or another. At the same time, I was an absolutely normal kid with my school, hobbies, friends. My parents were giving me attention, but not as much as I needed, and I was solving my problems pretty much on my own. I got really bitter with my parents and started detesting that helpless monster of my sister. When I became a teenager, things got even worse. It was always Stella this and Stella that, while it seemed that when I grew up, my parents considered their parental job done. I tried to rebel to get more attention, to ask for help, even to talk to them. And this is when my parents explained to me that they loved me a lot, but they consider me an independent person who doesn't need that much support. Look, Jenny, how strong you are. You can cope literally with everything. Stella is weak and she is sick all the time, and who will take care of her? But you will not have any problems in any situation. We're so proud of you. Yeah, pride sounds great, but a bit of support? The worst episode happened when I was supposed to go to a new school in another city and therefore move from my parents for the school term. I had been asking my parents for ages to buy me a guitar. Everything seemed fine. My sister went to school, her health seemed quite okay, and I thought that finally we would get a well-balanced family. We didn't communicate much, me and Stella. I had nothing in common with her and was not eager to talk to her when she tried awkwardly to start conversations. So I was sure I would get my guitar. When suddenly, Stella gets some lung infection, stays home for a couple of months, and after that, the doctor says that my parents need to take her to the seaside to convalesce, at least for a month. Guess what do I get? Oh, sorry, dear. A month at the seaside is a costly thing, so we can't afford to buy a guitar for you right now. Can you wait a bit? I was furious. Again, that little princess gets everything, and I am leaving home like a stray dog. I didn't even try to reason with my parents that time. I just left. I just left home all boiling with anger and disappointment. I was even imagining how wonderful life would be without Stella, and didn't even feel sympathy towards her. Those feelings didn't fade out during the term, and I came home all bitter for Christmas. The situation didn't seem to change a little bit, when suddenly, time came for giving presents. All taken aback, I saw Stella bringing me a guitar. I didn't understand a thing. I knew my parents still didn't have money. Stella said that it was a present from her personally. But how come? She confessed that she didn't feel well for me not getting my guitar. So she spent all her personal savings for it, and even did some odd works during the autumn to collect money. I couldn't help crying. I was so ashamed, remembering all the things I thought about my sister. Turned out I didn't even know her at all, and I behaved like a selfish egomaniac. I think that was the point when I felt I was growing up. Now I'm trying to improve the relationships with my parents and my sister. The lesson I learned is that detesting someone not knowing them well is childish and can backfire against you. Leave